Is this the start of the stock market crash? Everybody needs to just sit back and calm down for a second. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor, and today we have to speak about what happened yesterday. It was a bit of a crazy day in the markets, I'm sure you're all very aware. And literally yesterday alone, I got more messages than ever before, both on YouTube and on Instagram, about this day in the market. More than likely it's because we actually saw the NASDAQ for once underperforming the broader market. But 2% after the incredible run we've been on, I mean, have you already forgotten about March? Do you remember when 2% was a good day? I mean, what? It's not a lot, guys. This is not a reason to panic. It's okay. I was also one of the very unfortunate people who bought Tesla at the highs yesterday at about $1,700 and lost 12% at the snap of a fingers. First thing I want to do in today's video is I want to have a look at the overall market, specifically the Dow, the NASDAQ and the S&P. And I want to see what happened in all of them yesterday and what's happened in the last month or so. Secondly, I want to have a little look at Tesla in specific because I've just gotten so many questions on them. And thirdly, right, I just want to speak about what a long-term investment is. Because if you make a long-term investment, a day like yesterday should not faze you whatsoever. So right before we get on to having a look at the broader market, can I please ask you to smash a like on this video, because it genuinely does help the channel out so much. If you're new around here, please hit that red subscribe button, join the family. We upload every single day around here, about 10 videos a week to be honest. And drop me a comment down below, let me know what you think of yesterday or what you think about Tesla yesterday, because I know so many people are interested. So with all that being said, guys, let's get straight into the video. What actually happened yesterday in a nutshell? At market close, the Dow was up 0.04%. The NASDAQ, which is what everybody realistically is speaking about, was down 2.13%, and the S&P was down 0.94%. So obviously a bad day, you know, a red day nearly all around, but I mean, come on, it's not the end of the world. Pre-market right now isn't doing very much for anybody, but everything's up a little bit, but we cannot go off this. I want to start off on broader timescales and we'll work our way down. So again, looking at the NASDAQ, if we go back to exactly 6 months ago, they are still up 12.32%. If we go down to the bottoms, they are up over 50%. The 1 month chart, we were up 9.17%. After that dip, it is 6.84%. So still up overall. The S&P 500 on the 6 month chart, now down 3.9%. And from the bottom, up 41%. And on the monthly chart again, not too much has happened, up 2.89%. And the Dow Jones, yes, it had the best performance yesterday, but in the last 6 months, it's still down very close to 10%. Now, in general, when we see a red day, it is worse than your average green day. That's just the way it's always been. And on the last month in the NASDAQ, we can see, well, I suppose, 4, including yesterday, considerable red days, and the rest have all been green. But I mean, look, this day here doesn't look too much different to here. It looks very similar to here. It happens. If you were going to go to the 5-year chart, I mean, there are significant red days absolutely everywhere. There's going to be an abundance of 5 to 10% losses over the span of a few days in the span of 5 years. That's just the way it is. Do not panic just because yesterday stocks went down a little bit. It's fine. It happens. It is all part of the process. I really don't know why yesterday there was mass panic everywhere. We can see similar things on the S&P, you know, the red days are red and then the green days are more often. And the Dow Jones very clearly shows how red days more often are steeper than green days. I think the fact that the overall market is still up on the monthly chart and a lot of the market is up on the 6 month chart speaks enough. There have been some absolutely amazing runs to the upside. I mean, a lot of which may seem relatively unjustified. Of course, we're going to see big, fast pullbacks every now and again. If we look at the Fed's balance sheet, okay, the Fed's total assets, that's actually been going down for pretty much a month at this stage. So without getting help from the Fed too much, the market has actually gone up the last month as well. So that is a promising sign. And we've already seen just how dedicated the Fed is to keeping the market alive. So if anything was to go wrong, they would be right there to help out. That's why I'm not worried about a 2% loss on the NASDAQ. Right, the second part of the video, let's speak about Tesla. Tesla went nuts, okay? It made intraday highs of plus 14%, but it actually closed the day in the red. And I was one of the unfortunate people to buy right about here, right about $1,700. So I'm down like 12% right now. And I don't mind whatsoever. It's fine. I've thought about buying Tesla for so long. I thought about buying them at 650. I thought about buying them at 800, at 1,000, at 1,200, at 1,500. I've always thought they were overvalued. I never gave them enough research. I have been looking into them a whole lot more as of late. I'm actually one of these people who keeps up to date with Tesla now. and I love them, and they will be a big long-term play for me. Long-term being the key word. Again, I don't care what happens to them on a daily basis. I don't care if in the short term I am down, because I believe that in 5, 10, 20 years, Tesla will give me an awful lot of money, because I literally believe they will change the way the entire world works. It's disruptive technology. As of this moment in time, they are the leaders by literal years. We can all try and buy the next Tesla stock right now, and I do think a lot of other EV companies do have room for an awful lot of growth, but none of them right now are the next Tesla. Tesla is the next Tesla. This is why I'm not trying to time Tesla anymore. Monthly chart up 51%. You might think, wow, a stock going up 51% in a month, that's overvalued. 6 month chart 178%. Now look, it comes with its dips, and I fully acknowledge that, and I would actually welcome them. Even if I was to lose a lot of money short term, I would buy a lot more and make a lot more long term. 1 year up nearly 500%. One thing that's kept me away from this company for so long is it's scary, okay? It's really volatile, and it's constantly making all-time highs. But when you really start looking into it, they deserve to be. And with Battery Day coming up the 22nd of September, and after Q2 earnings, an inclusion in the S&P 500 is next to guaranteed, short term, I only see more highs being made. And the medium to long term, the business is going to speak for itself. And another thing to keep in mind about yesterday, okay, was I know they had a lovely rally. They went up 14%. They only closed the day down 3%. Yes, there was very unlucky people like me who were buying that day, who got in near the top, who in the short term lost anywhere from probably 8 to 15%. But for the current holders, I mean, it's just another day. It's a 3% dip. It's not crazy. What about this here? Where in literally 5 trading days, they went up 42.9%. I understand the bear thesis. I was one of the people who had both a bull and a bear thesis. I acknowledge the fact that Tesla in the short term is, by all definitions, overvalued, but it is a different kind of company. You cannot use something like intrinsic value to value a company like Tesla. It is literally a different breed. I don't think it's a company a value investor, you know, a relatively defensive investor, any of those people would make. It is one that I think is going to be fantastic though. Like that market cap right now, 277 billion. I think a lot of people recognize that this could easily be a 1.5 trillion dollar market cap company in the future. I did not buy because of FOMO. In a weird way, the reason I put it off so long was because of FOMO. I was worried about missing the dip. I was actually not buying a company that I wanted to invest in because I wanted to time the market. Me not buying this company was FOMO. Me buying this company was me using my head. So look, if you're not able for the volatility, if you have weak hands, if you're going to need that money potentially in 6 months to a year, maybe don't invest in Tesla, you know? Don't invest anything you can afford to lose, obviously. And of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not saying that anybody should buy Tesla. I'm just giving my personal thoughts. And the last thing I want to speak about today, guys, is what is a long-term investment? Because again, I had so many messages yesterday of people telling me that they're thinking about selling their Amazons or their Apples or their Teslas, all of these big tech stocks after a literal 2% NASDAQ dip. I mean, Amazon drops 3% and people are thinking about selling. Amazon still on the monthly is up over 20%, people. If every single time you see a red day, you are going to consider selling a company, you did not do your due diligence. You do not actually believe in the company you have invested in, or else you are just not made out for long-term investing. You are too emotional and you can't handle it. So either start doing more research and only invest in companies that you genuinely understand and believe in, not companies that you blindly follow because someone on YouTube speaks about them and says that they could go up, and stop looking at your portfolio every 3 minutes. The longer you stay in the market of a company you have done your research in, you believe in, and has shown that they have the potential to continue growing at a good rate, who is profitable, etc., etc., the more likely you are to end up making money. Just because the printers didn't go brrr for a day, a week, or even a month doesn't mean you need to sell all of your holdings. And the best way to keep a stock's price from going down is to not sell, is just to hold your positions or even buy positions, but most importantly, hold. We see this a lot, momentum, you know, one person sells, then, you know, another person sells, and then all of a sudden, half of the market is selling off because they're all afraid because one guy wanted to sell a few shares. Little bonus quickly, we want to speak about Workhorse, okay? Market open. We went up nearly 15%, people were buzzing. We closed only up 1.71%. Today, pre-market is at 4.34%. Today is an important day. It is July 14th and it is the day that bids close for the USPS contract. But please remember, it's the day that bids close. It's not the day it gets announced who's won the contract or if more than one company has won the contract. Workhorse is going to be a little bit of a longer hold than some people first first expected, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I do have a full video speaking about Workhorse and why I think they could be worth billions because of this contract. If you want to see that, I'll leave that on the screen now. And I did actually buy just a little bit more on Workhorse yesterday. It was just, I think, 6 or 7 more shares, something like that. But I see a lot of potential in this company. I just wanted to touch off them because, again, I got a lot of questions about them. But a quick recap on today's video. If you want to be a long-term investor, you best get used to red days. If you cannot handle seeing the red in your portfolio, and if you are prone to panic selling, maybe get somebody to manage your portfolio. Literally get a financial advisor. Every now and again you're going to invest in a company that, you know, you didn't actually do enough research in, you may not believe in the long term, and in those situations it's okay to sell. You know, it's okay to sell companies sometimes. I've done it before when I didn't do due diligence when I thought I had done. I've sold a good few companies for that reason. You know, when I was very new to investing, I had different goals and I didn't really understand the market as much. So I bought companies that actually, you know, they weren't the best companies to buy, so I sold them to invest in better companies. But if you really believe in a company, like I do with, say, Tesla, with Amazon, with Facebook, things of those sorts, just because there's a red day doesn't mean you need to panic sell. And in regards to Tesla, I mean, they're volatile. I've said it in previous videos, I see a worst case scenario genuinely where Tesla could fall somewhere between $600 to $700. Now that is my absolute worst case scenario, okay? And I invested at $1,700 understanding that. So of course I'm not going to sell just because I see a little bit of a dip. It's completely fine. And if the dip does continue to happen, I will just dollar cost average as I've always done. And if they start to go back up, happy days, I'll dollar cost average. So please do just understand what you're investing in, understand what it takes, and be confident in your investments. You know, if you're not confident in your investments, you will ultimately end up selling, and you know, you might make a little bit of money or you might lose a bit of money. Just remember that if you're in it for the long term, you are an investor, not a trader. But anyway guys, I do hope that you enjoyed today's video. Again, if you watched till the end, you are a true legend. You already know how much I appreciate you. I mean, I appreciate you more than Elon appreciates red shorts. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. I will see you for tomorrow's video. Peace.